Okay, everybody, welcome to part B. Why is this beautiful woman, teacher, wife, mom, why is she on the screen?
Team 8 tonight and the disturbing murder of a kindergarten teacher. She had also become a mother recently when police say she had been killed by her husband. Teammates Kat Sandoval's talking with her parents, sharing their heartbreak and what their message is tonight.
Just a few steps from where I'm standing is where they found 26-year-old Amber Morgan's body. She was brutally murdered, and we got a chance to speak to her parents.
So 26 years old, married mom. And they didn't say, but I kind of wonder, was she still in the home? Because obviously she wanted a divorce. 26 years old. But notice the family said, it was mentioned, they didn't think it would get this far. That seems to be what the thinking is. Oh, I know this person. Sometimes you don't. I've heard this saying, the person you marry is not the person you divorce. Wow, a whole other person can pull up. Listen to what happened to her. There are red flags, but sometimes women think, oh, it won't go that far. Forget about what you think. You have to go into survival mode because this happens quite a bit with these men. They will see you dead before they let you walk away and live your best life.
This was a woman that they don't make them like that.
Her father speaking.
Corey Morgan described his daughter as a bright star who loved being a mother.
That Friday night, she went to Costco with her mother. And she took everything up 2 flights of stairs, having a 5-week-old baby.
That was the last time the parents saw her. Corey requested we call his daughter by her maiden name, Morgan. Her husband, Robert Cooley, confessed to the murder, telling officers, I did something bad. I need to go to jail. And then later, I took my wife's life. Police found Amber Saturday morning in her home. Police say her face was beaten so severely she was unrecognizable. She was shot in the head and her throat slit.
That leads me to believe he hated that woman. Beautiful girl. They may have a closed casket. Beaten soul. That's hate. Beaten soul. Face unrecognizable. Shot in the head. Her throat cut. And if someone would have told her, we know life doesn't work this way. Hey, guess what? In the next week or so, he's going to unalive you. He's going to cut your throat. He's going to beat you so unrecognizable. He's going to shoot you in your head. She probably wouldn't have believed it. Any kind of hint of violence, sweetheart, ladies, do not stick around. You might end up in the ground. Any hint of it, do not stick around. You might end up in the ground. This tells me this guy hated her. But I thought everybody loved the Kangs. Can you imagine? 2 flights of stairs, just had a baby, 5 weeks.
Her face was beaten so severely she was unrecognizable. She was shot in the head and her throat slit. Officers saw blood on Cooley's hands and clothing. Amber's parents say there were red flags with Cooley, but didn't think it would go this far.
And that's the problem right there. The flags are there. I think sometimes women are afraid, oh no, he's not going to do that because that may be a reflection of my character. It's time to get into survival mode. Anytime, any hint of violence, survival mode. Why? Stick around, it might put you in the ground. Now he's going to jail. She's deceased. 26 years old. Life is over just like that. You have to accept reality. Sometimes it's not a wonderful thing, but you have to accept it. Forget about saving face. Oh, I don't think. That's what a many woman has thought. Oh, it's not going to go that far. Oh, he would never. And then can you imagine when you have that frightful moment and you realize, uh-oh, it has gone that far. Being unrecognizable, shot in the head. I mean, my gosh, is it? What did the lady said? They hate you. Some men want to be married. It's all about control. And even though the marriage may not be working out, they don't care about your happiness. They are selfish. That's why I keep telling women, be selfish while the men already are. Warning signs were there, they go ignored. You have to get out of the emotional state and deal with reality. Well, he may not, I don't think he will. Well, you don't know. And sometimes you find out when it's too late. So the warning signs were there. I'm assuming they were obviously ignored, unfortunately to her peril.
He was verbally abusing her and what I would call starting to spiral out of control since a little shortly before the birth of the baby.
Okay, now, and here's the thing. No disrespect, I feel for the family. She said he was verbally abusing her. Look what happened. Beat her unrecognizably, shot her in the head, slit her throat. So when the mother said he was verbally abusing her, then she kind of paused. My thing is, was the next thing going to be that he was physically abusing her? But she didn't say that. Given the hatred, I wonder if that was the case. But see, sometimes, I'm just speaking in general because I don't know the family. Again, my heart goes out to them, what has happened. But see, sometimes people, especially older people, were so concerned about, oh my goodness, want to save face. Call this mess out for what it is. Maybe then she'd still be alive. We don't want to say that because the public opinion bump that crap. He's a monster. Is that the things like that we don't want to say? We want to try to pretend. And sometimes, and again, I'm not saying that's what she's doing, but that hit my mind because I've seen how some of the old school ones do. We're all worried about appearances and keep on, we keep on with the smiles for the camera. For this man to do this to her, this lets me know it is highly probable, in my opinion, that he could have been very, very violent against her. But heaven forbid we say that, because then it's going to be, why didn't she get out? Why didn't she? I've heard a woman say this. They're like, why did you stay so long? Oh, I don't want to hear people talking. So she was worried about keeping up appearances. Now, she wasn't abused, but it was a hell of a bad marriage, a whole lot of drama and trauma. And once she got divorced and it was over, that's when she began to speak out. And people are like, how did you stay for so long? They want to be seen as a failure. So that's one thing about it. Sometimes people, again, not saying it's reflective of them, but I've heard about this kind of thing. It's like sometimes people want secrets.
Out of control since a little shortly before the birth of the baby. Starting to spiral out of control. What I would call starting to spiral out of control.
And I wonder if he was violent.
What I would call spiraling her. And as far, he was verbally abusing her. And what I would call starting to spiral out of control since a little shortly before the birth of the baby.
He threatened me. He tried to engage in a physical altercation with me.
Amber's mom
that right there. So he threatened the dad and tried to engage in a physical altercation. So when the mother said he verbally abused her, then little pause, he probably physically abused her too. Just like he tried to get into a physical altercation with her dad, he probably been doing it with the beauty queen, the kindergarten teacher, and mom on the screen. We don't want to call that out, make things look bad. It's already bad. She's dead. That pause caused me to think that he's already trying to pull up on the dad. They should have left Costco, and I think she should have left with her mom and dad until he had been served and gotten those papers, and that's no guarantee. But it's a possibility he might still be alive and get a gun. Stay strapped. Don't try to fight no man. You know what to do. 1, 2, pew pew. You know what to do. Him or me. I won't be trying to fight no man. I'm just gonna grab my little friend, non-married man. I ain't got time to fight. Wait till my husband get home and he's Marie. I'm gonna try to handle it now. It's not gonna be me. A burglar. You wait till my husband get home and he's gonna whip your ass, child. We have to worry about all that. Just don't mess up my furniture. I'm gonna really be mad. Oh, you bet not. All they had to do, I think you should have moved in with a family. No, it's not gonna get that bad. Well, now we know. Again, when that mother paused right there at that moment, and then what the father said, he tried to pull up on him, get verbally, get physical.
But didn't think it would go this far.
That's the problem. We don't think it's going to go that far until it actually does. And then by that time, I'm sorry to tell you, it's too darn late. Some of these people are animals.
Saw blood on Cooley's hands and clothing. Amber's parents say there were red flags with Cooley, but didn't think it would go this far.
He was verbally abusing her and what I would call starting to spiral out of control since a little shortly before the birth of the baby.
He threatened me. He tried to engage in a physical altercation with me.
Amber's mom tells us Amber asked for a petition for dissolution of marriage papers the night before she was killed.
We think that he tried to confront her, and she told him something he didn't want to hear.
Amber was a kindergarten teacher at Victory.
And when they confront you like that, and it's just you and you're alone, you don't have a gun, you need to learn to play that role. No, I want my don't. They might turn to Incredible Hulk on you, become diabolical, unalive you. When it gets to that point, you might want to play that role until you get to a safe place. What the lady said, the person you marry is not the one you divorced. There you go. How many shows have we shown on this channel, news reports, having to climb out the window? Trying to get away. When you see he's in panic mode and want the divorce, you may have to play that role just to survive another day. And then once you can get out, just play that role. You baby get out, go ahead, file, go stay with somebody else. But a lot of times women think this is a man I married. It's not going to go that far. You don't know. He's even tried to pull up on the dad. And now the baby. Now they have to put the beautiful daughter in the ground. Now they have to raise a baby.
She was shot in the head and her throat slit. Officers saw blood on Cooley's hands.
He's not going to do that. It's not going to go that far. We don't know.
Something bad. I need to go to jail. And then later, I took my wife's life. Police found Amber Saturday morning in her home. Police say her face was beaten so severely she was unrecognizable. She was shot in the head and her throat slit.
When you find these relationships are on the end, it's time to start thinking a whole different way. All this, he's not going to do that. It's not going to get that far. We can't depend on that.
Officers saw blood on Cooley's hands and clothing. Amber's parents say there were red flags with Cooley, but didn't think it would go this far.
He was verbally abusing her and what I would call starting to spiral out of control since a little shortly before the birth of the baby.
He threatened me. He tried to engage in a physical altercation with me.
It's time to leave. Oh, but it's my house, it's time to leave. And looking at him, he looked to me like what they would consider the educated lame, nonviolent dust bucket. Where is he? His little picture. Looking at him, he look like a little geek. There he is. He looked dead in the eyes. So she wants a divorce. Child support could also be a reason too. And I kind of wonder too, how would they What's his career? I hope she wasn't enough so support. Heaven forbid he might have to go get a job. Oh my goodness. Pay child support. How dare you get him out his safety place? It was with you. I think he hated this woman. Beaten so. He don't even love his child, a mother of your child. Rather see you dead than let you live your best life. Hey, it just didn't work out. I keep saying they need you. The fact that they can sometimes control a woman, that validates them as a human being. So keep that in mind. Oh, it's not going to go that far. He won't do that. You're mean.
She was shot in the head and her throat slit.
It's not going to go that far. He wouldn't dare do that. He's not going to do that.
Morning in her home. Police say her face was beaten so severely she was unrecognizable. She was shot in the head and her throat slit. Officers saw blood on Cooley's hands and clothing. Amber's parents say there were red flags with Cooley, but didn't think it would go this far.
And unfortunately, now we know. Didn't think it would go this far. Oftentimes it does. Just sad all around. Ladies, please be alert, be aware. There are a lot of self-hating, femicidal, diabolical, hate behind dust buckets out there. Thanks for watching. Feel free to comment, like, subscribe, and share. And don't forget, when it starts to get violent, the least little hint of it, don't stick around, because you might end up in the ground. And I'm out.